Hello friends. So today we are going to discuss another very important topic which is called permutation and combinations. It is basically counting problem, and it becomes very important because it also finds its way into solving probability related problem. This is a very important topic, and it's a really a vast topic, and we don't want to squeeze everything into one single video. So I'll be creating multiple such videos for permutation and combination of shorter lengths. Each video will capture a particular concept, and we'll discuss some of the problems, and then we'll go step by step in each video. So we'll first start with the definitions, like what do we mean by permutations and combinations, right? So both of these are related to some sort of counting problem. Wherever we see combinations or permutations, it actually has a way to count something. The problem will mostly revolve around counting a particular event or activity, right? So before even starting with permutations or combinations, I just want to go through a very important theorem, which is called multiplication theorem, right? So what this says, multiplication theorem, is uh, if I have m ways to do a particular job, and for each of the m ways, if I have n ways to do another type of job, right? So if I have m ways to do one job, and for each of these m ways I have n ways to do another job, right? So there will be m into n ways if we have to combine these two jobs, right? So if we want to do both the jobs, there are m into n ways of doing it. For example, let's say in a class there are 10 boys and 15 girls, right? Now we have to make a team which consists of one boy and one girl, right? So we can say that there are 10 ways of selecting a boy, right? Because we can select any of the boy, so there are 10 ways. Similarly, there are 15 ways of selecting a girl, right? So if we have to select one boy and one girl each, there has to be 10 into 15 ways, which is 150 ways, right? Now how does we can also visualize this very simply. Let's say we had uh, three boys and four girls, right? And let's say this is the team wherein we have to fill a boy and we have to fill a girl, right? So this is a team. Now we have to count how many ways we can do that. So you can see that let's say we represent three boys as b1 b2 b3 and four girls as g1 g2 g3, right? And g4. So if we fix b1 here, this can be filled in four ways, like, right? Which is g1 g2 g3 and g4. Similarly, if we have b2, this can be filled in four ways. If we have b3, this can be filled in four ways, right? So in total we'll have 12 ways, right? Because for each of the boy we have four options to choose a girl from, right? So we have 12 such ways of doing it, right? So it is basically a counting problem wherein we are counting the number of ways a particular job can be done, and in this case the job is to select a boy and a girl each, right? Okay, so now we'll go through the definitions for permutation and combination, right? So what do we mean by permutation, and what do we mean by combination, and what is the difference between these two, right? So in simple dictionary term, uh, the combination is a number of ways to select a certain number of items from a pool. So if you have given m number of items, right, and you have to select n number from this item, so the combination deals with a number of ways of selecting n such items from a pool of m items. And in combination or in selection, the order doesn't matter. So you can select n items. So for example, if I have three alphabet ABC, and if I have to select two letters from it, then if the question is how many ways we can select two letters from it, so there are ways like AB, AC, and BC. Now AB and BA in this case is equal because the order isn't mattering. They are the same character, so it's just the selecting two things from the three things pool, right? Whereas in permutation, the order actually matters. So similarly, if the same, so the permutation deals in like the number of ways in which you can select uh, n things from m things and arrange them, right? So it's like arranging a particular item from a pool of item. For the same example, let's say if I had three characters, and the question asked that from these three letters, how many two-letter word can be formed, right? So in that case, AB and BA are actually two different things. So in this case, the order matters, but in this case, this didn't matter because this was just a selection question. This was an arrangement question. So we have ABBA, we have ACCA, and then we have BCCB. So we have a total of 6 ways in which we can create a two-letter word from three-letter pool, and we have only 3 ways of selecting two letters from a three-letter pool, right? So that's the difference between permutation and combination, right? Let's take another example. So suppose we have 4 players, A, B, C, and D, and the question is to find the number of ways we can select 3 players from these 4 players and form a team of 3, right? So this is basically a selection problem wherein we have to select 3 players out of these 4 players and form a team, and the question is to count the number of ways in which we can do that, right? So let's say since this is a smaller problem, we can just look at this characters and then see that in how many ways we can form that team. So the one team can be which has A, B, and C. So this can be one team, right? Another team can be A, C, D, right? Another team can be A, B, D, and another team can be B, C, and D. Now you see, if we have selected these 3 players and formed a team, any permutation of these 3 letter won't matter, right? Because ultimately they are part, these three is just the ordering, and in this case the ordering isn't mattering because we have to select 3 players and form a team, and these 3 players have been already selected and formed a team, right? So we total has 4 such ways, right? We have 4 ways of forming a team of 3 players from these 4 distinct pairs, right? But let's say the question was that I have to create a batting order, the first order, second order, the third order from these 4 players. So who will go for batting at the first order, at the second order, and at the third order? Then how many ways do I have, right? And now in this case, A, B, C and A, C, B is actually different. It is not the same because the order has changed. So we have to count all the number of permutations that can be made with the 4 players by selecting 3 players and then ordering them in these three batting orders, right? So again, what we can see that we'll select 3 players from the pool, and then we will find all the ways it can be arranged among themselves. That will give us the number of permutation for those 3 players, right? So if I select ABC, in how many ways, so if I select ABC, in how many ways they can be arranged themselves, right? So there is a very convenient way of this box method, which we'll explore more when we solve the problems. So what this says, that let's say I have to fill these 3 positions, right, with these 3 things. So how many ways we can do that? So the first box I can fill in 3 ways, because I can put either A, B or C here. When I put one of these here, I am only left with two things, right? Since repetition is not allowed, since they have to be distinct, so I only have 2 ways of filling it. Now when these 2 players have been already placed in their batting order, I only have one player left. So in total I have 3 into 2 into 1 way of arranging these things, which is nothing but 3 factorial, which is 6, right? So if I take 3 players, I can arrange them in 6 ways. And how many ways do I have of selecting 3 players? I have total 4 ways in which I can select 3 players, and I have 6 ways in which I can arrange each selection, right? So the total number of permutation will be 4 into 16, 4 into 6, which is 24, right? So we have 24 ways in which we can decide the batting order among these 4 players, right? Now we saw here that this can also be generalized. So for any n, so if we have given n items, n distinct items, they can be arranged in n factorial times. So they can be arranged in n factorial ways among themselves. So since it was a 3 item question, so we were able to arrange them in 3 factorial way. But let's say if I had 5 players and I had to arrange the batting order, I would have 5 factorial ways of arranging them. The important point is that they all have to be distinct, then only this holds true, right? So I- we can see a relation between a combination or selection and permutation, right? Which is, permutation is nothing but combination into number of ways to arrange, right? That means permutation is nothing but selecting an items, and then in how many ways we can arrange them together among themselves. So that will give us the total number of arrangements possible, right? There is also an intuitive way of getting this number of ways or number of permutation. So let me clear this thing. So I had 4 players, and I have to form a team of, I have to uh, create batting orders and count the number of ways in which I can do. So I can again take the box method. So let's say this is my first batting order, this is second batting order, this is third batting order. So in how many ways I can place a batsman in the first batting order? That is 4 ways, right? I can either choose A, B, C or D. Once I fix that particular batting order, how many ways, or how many ways we can select a batsman to be put on the second batting order? So we have 3 such ways, right? And when I have fixed two players at first and second position, I'm only left with two more batsmen. So I have two ways to put the batsman on the third position. And from the theorem of multiplication, I know that the total number of ways will be 4 into 3 into 2, which is 24. Right? So there are, as you can see, there are several ways to solve the same problem. There is no, there is not always there won't be always a case where you have to remember the formula and apply formula. Some of the things you can just solve on intuition, like these box methods and the selection and then arranging them together. So these things can be solved without using any formula. These are just counting problems, right? Now we have touched the basic of permutation and combination. What do they mean? In the next videos, we'll expand upon permutations and combinations, the formula where you can directly calculate these values. Also, right now we have discussed the number of ways of arrangement when we have distinct item, but there may be cases in which we you have repeated items, or some problems on word formation, number formation. So all those things we'll discuss in next few videos as we progress along for this permutation and combination chapter. So yeah, do let me know if you have any doubt, or if you want any clarification on the content. Do post a comment below. Subscribe the channel, like the video, and do watch out for the new content for this permutation combination that I will put in the coming days. Thank you very much for your time.